It began as a quiet morning, the kind of morning when the sea looked infinite, calm, and eternal. But on December 26, 2004, the world would learn that even the calmest ocean can hold untold power beneath its surface. Far beneath the Indian Ocean, a shift occurred. Two massive tectonic plates, the Indian Plate and the Burma Plate, moved suddenly, releasing energy equal to thousands of atomic bombs. At that moment, the Earth trembled. But on the beaches across Indonesia, Thailand, Sri Lanka, India, and beyond, no one knew what was coming. People went about their morning routines, fishermen returning home, tourists enjoying breakfast, families gathering after Christmas celebrations. And then, the sea began to behave strangely. The water receded, birds flew inland. Curious eyes watched as the shoreline stretched farther than they had ever seen. Children ran to collect fish left flapping on the exposed sand. Moments later, the horizon rose. What looked like a dark, distant line was not a cloud. It was a wall, a moving mountain of water. That wave, racing faster than a jet airplane, had been traveling unseen across the ocean. When it reached land, there was no time to run, no time to think. Only the deafening sound of the Earth's fury meeting the shore. Homes vanished in seconds, streets became rivers, entire towns were swallowed by the sea. But even as destruction swept through, stories of courage began to rise. In Aceh, one of the hardest-hit places, people climbed to rooftops, trees, and mosque domes to survive. A young boy, Arif, clung to a floating door for hours before being pulled to safety by a fisherman who had lost everything himself. In Thailand, a local guide named Nai Kri saved dozens of tourists by recognizing the warning signs and leading them to higher ground. These moments and small acts of courage became the heartbeat of humanity amid chaos. By the time the ocean calmed, more than 200,000 lives were lost across 14 countries. It was one of the deadliest natural disasters in modern history. But it was also a moment that reshaped how the world understood nature, compassion, and unity. From every corner of the planet, help began to pour in. Nations set aside borders, religions, and politics, sending aid, doctors, engineers, and hope. The world became one ocean of empathy. Satellite phones crackled as survivors reunited with families they thought were gone. Children who had lost their homes were taken in by strangers who treated them like their own. And from the ruins rose a promise, never again without warning. That promise sparked the creation of a global tsunami early warning system, a network of buoys, sensors, and satellites that now watch the world's oceans every second. When the sea moves again, humanity will hear it. But beyond the systems and science, what remained was something deeper, the spirit of those who lived through it. In the years that followed, the beaches of Aceh and Phuket slowly came back to life. Fishermen rebuilt their boats. Children went back to school. New trees were planted where ruins once stood. And every December, people returned to the sea, not in fear, but in remembrance. They stand facing the horizon, where the sky meets the ocean, and whisper prayers carried by the wind. Because they know that the ocean, for all its beauty and rage, is also a reminder that life is fragile, time is precious, and every sunrise is a gift. The earth stood still once, but humanity did not. We rose, we learned, we rebuilt, and through every ripple we remember. When the earth stood still, we discovered the strength to move forward.